5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve. This is Live with Neve. Iconic musicians, comedians, and entertainers of all types. Interviews, comedy, and God knows what else. Hold on!
I'd like to talk and ask you about your guitar, your Telecaster. I know it's not a standard Telecaster, and I love the hell out of the sound on it. So tell us a little bit about that thing.
Actually, that guitar is, it's not a Telecaster, it's a Godin. Godin.
Right. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm familiar with the
one.
brand. Cool.
But it's an old one, 1980 something. And, you know, as usual, they don't make them quite the same anymore. And so that one is, you know, the holy grail to me. That's part of my sound, that one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I noticed the first time I saw you play, I was like, this guitar sounds a little too good for a standard Tele. And I didn't realize it was a Godin. That explains why, especially one that old.
Well, it's actually surprisingly, and I've just learned how to use it different ways. It's an acoustic guitar. That has no pickups, electromagnetic pickups. That's a Baggs pickup stuck inside that little hollow body, and it's acoustic strings, and it's an acoustic guitar.
Wow.
But it can sound like a Tele. Yeah, so it can sound like a Tele, and if you mess around with the tone controls, and you pull mid-range out and things like that, it can sound like a guitar. It can sound like a beautiful acoustic, or it can sound like kind of a clean, little bit overdriven Tele. And all you have to do is mess with the tone control on the guitar itself. I don't use any pedals, none.
Great, we like that.
I plug it in.
Great.
There you go.
Yeah. That's always my favorite. It's like I never saw Danny Gatton or any of those guys, Roy Buchanan, using a shitload of pedals, you know? So tell me, who were you digging with? Who were you when you were growing up? You talked about your influences. When actually did you start playing music?
When that's primeval. I don't. My father sat me down. I don't have any earlier memories in life, and I'm talking therefore 2, 3, 4. I don't have any earlier memories other than holding a guitar or really early sitting at my dad's drum set. That was really the first, you know, after a while, by the time I was like 10, 11, I was teaching drums.
Wow.
And playing gigs.
Very cool.
That was drums was it. I didn't, I was always a drummer. And I played guitar as a secret. That was my holdback. Everybody in high school, everybody knew I was Brian the drummer. The singing guy who played guitar, that was a little bit more of a holdback. That was my secret.
Right.
And when I got out of high school in '69, in the summer of '69, I made it straight out to LA and lived on Venice Beach. And somehow I was more comfortable there in front of nobody I knew. No one who knew me, no one who had a preconceived notion of who Brian was. I presented myself as a guy who played guitar and wrote and sang his own songs.
Hey, Brian, it's interesting. I have
over a couple of years,
we have a fan who was at your show at Max's Kansas City. I have to say, that's really cool. Susan Fine is a good friend of our show, and she just commented she saw you in Max's Kansas City back in the day. That's cool. She's a true New Yorker, and this is the weirdest case of 6 steps of separation I've seen. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh
it's cool.
That is the coolest thing. Oh my God. Oh, what's her name? Susan?
Yes, Susan Fine. Susan, do you have any
Is her
questions
name
for
Susan?
Brian? Her name is Susan, yes.
Oh my God.
And she's a great fan of our
Right.
show. I'm looking to see if she has, she just commented she was at your shows and she said, I still have Hot Wheels and Weebles do fall down if they have too many drinks. That's a hard lesson I had to learn, man.
Oh my God. That's fantastic.
That is really cool.
I'm having
here we are,
right now.
bringing people together, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the hang, Brian.
It is, and that's what I've just learned myself. Just learned that.
Yep. It's always about the hang.
Yes. So, oh my God, that really, I forgot what we were even talking about. That was incredible.
That blew my mind too, but I'll tell you what, Susan was like all over New York in those glory days, and she knows everybody. She's talked to everybody. She saw a lot of amazing acts, CDGBs, all those kind of places. And I mean, Max's was like you say, I was a kid here wishing I could get into Max's, 15, 14-year-old kid. And I'm like, oh man, I read about it in Cream magazine. And of course I'm like, it's only 40 miles from where I lived, but there's no way my scrawny ass was going to get into a club back in the day.
Well, back then in the early 70s, I had some good management. And so I literally played Max's was within the year that Bob Marley played there and opened for Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
Before I played Max's, I played the Mercer Arts Center and used to hang out with this group called the New York Dolls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Love those guys.
I played the Bitter End because, that's where everybody played. It was a different scene. It was a wonderful business. It made sense back in the day. You made a name for yourself in your own region. Then there were talent scouts that would go around and you could connect with them, and they were from major corporations, regular business. Right. And you would go and you would showcase for them. They would either sign you to a development deal or sign you right up. Then you had, right? And then you had regular business. They were going to want you to develop a commercial product, and you were going to try and be more artistic. There was a struggle. Sure, no problem. And then you were going to be dealing with businessmen who wanted to underpay you and pay themselves more. Wow, what a shock.
Yep.
No, that was no problem either. The main problem I have is nowadays, none of that was difficult for me to comprehend. What's difficult now is that, 200 million people make their CD every day on their computer and then release it. How are you supposed to let anyone know you're out there?
Follow, subscribe, like us anywhere you find webcasts and on all of our social media to get bonus material.